What's up, guys? Today on People Now, Cardi B claps back at Jermaine Dupri after he made comments on our show calling today's female hip-hop artists strippers rapping. We're gonna break it all down.
R. Kelly is arrested on sex trafficking charges. We have the latest.
Ed Sheeran just released a new music video for his song Antisocial featuring Travis Scott. It's pretty epic and kind of weird.
Who was the real JFK Jr.? Well, we have the answers as we sit down with his close friend and historian, Stephen M. Gillen.
Meet the boy who is making bow ties for dogs for a great cause and see the adorable pics.
Plus, Meghan Markle is set to make her first red carpet appearance as a royal. What is she gonna wear? Will she meet Beyonce? We break it down, plus so much more in our royal record recap.
It's all today on People Now. Happy Friday. Let's go. Got our little finger pointer dances
Pow,
going.
pow, pow.
Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome to People Now. Mako is here filling in for Jeremy. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm seeing J-Lo tonight. So excited.
Fun.
I am at MSG. It's gonna be good.
You're gonna be dancing it out.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you guys, more news in the music world because Ed Sheeran dropped his star-studded #6 collaborations project. You're seeing a bit of his new music video, Antisocial, right here, featuring Travis Scott. It's a cool video.
It is a very cool video, so we're going to talk about it more later, but we want to know which collab you're excited for. Is it Eminem? Is it Cardi B? Is it Bruno Mars? I want us to tweet us your answer in our poll, and we'll check in on those results in a little bit.
Yes, but for now, here's what you need to know and what's trending today, starting off on this. R&B singer R. Kelly has been arrested on federal charges, including child pornography and obstruction of justice, according to multiple outlets. In a statement on Thursday, the attorney's office reports R. Kelly was arrested in Chicago tonight on charges contained in a 13-count indictment returned today in the Northern District of Illinois. The indictment includes charges of child pornography and obstruction of justice. He was arrested by New York Police Department detectives and investigators from the Department of Homeland Security, according to NBC News. R. Kelly has also been hit with a separate indictment from the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of New York, reported by ABC. Details of that indictment are expected to be released on Friday, according to The Times. The U.S. Attorney's Office for the Northern District of Illinois and the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of New York did not immediately respond to people's requests for comment. The NYPD declined to comment. In a statement issued via Twitter, R. Kelly's lawyer, Steve Greenberg, said in part, the conduct alleged appears to be largely the same as the conduct previously alleged against Mr. Kelly in his current state indictment and his former state charges that he was acquitted of. Most, if not all, of the conduct alleged is decades old. Greenberg added that Kelly and his lawyers look forward to his day in court, to the truth coming out, and to his vindication from what has been an unprecedented assault by others for their own personal gain. These federal charges come after Kelly pleaded not guilty to various state sex-related charges earlier in 2019. In June of 2019, Kelly pleaded not guilty to 11 felony sexual abuse counts after he was charged by Cook County prosecutors in Chicago in May. The charges include 5 counts of aggravated criminal sexual assault and stem from one accuser who claims Kelly abused her in 2009 and 2010 while she was underage. In February, Kelly was also hit with 10 counts of aggravated criminal sexual abuse against 4 alleged victims, 3 of which were referred to as under the age of 17. He pleaded not guilty to all of the charges. An arrest warrant was issued for Kelly in February after the first charges were announced, and he surrendered to Chicago police hours later. He was released from jail 3 days later after paying 10% of his $1 million bail amount. The Cook County sheriff confirmed this to People at the time. R. Kelly, who was also the subject of the documentary Surviving R. Kelly earlier this year, has maintained his innocence throughout his legal troubles. After his not guilty plea last month, his lawyer Greenberg said his client is feeling positive. This is an ongoing story. We will continue to keep you posted as more news comes in. All right, moving on to this. Have you seen this?
I have seen a lot of people, right, that nowadays female rappers only talk about the and now that Jermaine Dupri bring it up, now I'm gonna say something about it, right?
That's Cardi B. She's clapping back at comments Jermaine Dupri made about today's female rappers on People Now on Thursday. In 2 videos posted on her Instagram, the Bodak Yellow rapper goes off on Dupri and others for not supporting women who rap about real stuff.
Yeah, Cardi saw our video on People Now, you guys.
Yeah.
So in my interview with Dupri, he started out praising rapper Debrat for paving the way for other female artists. But when I asked what female rappers stand out to him today, he said this. Take a look.
They're all rapping about the same thing, and I don't feel like that. I don't think they're showing us who's the best rapper.
They're not all rapping about the same thing. Cardi didn't like it, I didn't like it, and we have lots of thoughts on this as well.
Yes, we'll have more of Cardi's response to Jermaine's comments from my interview with him later on in the show. But first, on to this.
touch me, don't touch me, don't touch me, I came to vibe, yeah.
This is epic. We are here for this new jam. That was Ed Sheeran featuring Travis Scott in Antisocial, which you can listen to on Ed's new album, #6 Collaborations Project. The video is great. You can see he's dressed like a sea captain, then he also appears as an office worker, a number of other disguises. I mean, it looks like a QVC kind of thing
This
there.
is a man of many talents, you guys. This album is jam-packed. I was jamming to it this morning on my subway right up here, and it is soon to be iconic for sure. So it features collabs from Travis Scott, whom you just saw, to Bruno Mars, to Cardi B, to Eminem. Who are you excited for, Andrea, on this album?
I like Chris Stapleton.
Chris Stapleton is good, yeah. So make sure you are voting right now in our People poll. Now, Ed Sheeran teased his Antisocial album on his Instagram on Tuesday when he posted a pic of himself in skeleton-like face makeup. The caption simply read, Friday.
You know, casual Friday.
Yeah.
Ed made 2 more posts expressing his excitement over his latest project. First, he shared a video featuring snippets of multiple tracks on the album with the caption, #6 Collaborations Project, out Friday 2, the whole shebang. The last Instagram post showed Sheeran sitting in a diner and what looked like behind-the-scenes shots from an upcoming video. Notably, he's wearing a t-shirt that reads, "Don't touch."
#6 Collaborations is Ed Sheeran's 6th studio album. His last one was Divide, which came out in 2017. His new album is available online, but I gotta warn you, my friends, every song may get stuck in your head.
And go watch the video.
So good.
Yeah. All right. Nikki Bella and Artem Chigvintsev have made their relationship red carpet official. The couple hit the red carpet together for the first time Thursday night at the 2019 Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Sports Awards in Santa Monica, California. Both looked very happy as they posed for pictures, showed off some PDA here. There was some kissing and some hugging, Mako.
I love PDA on the red carpet.
I do too.
The couple was there because Nikki was nominated for the show Queen of Swag title, and of course, Artem was there to support his lady. That's so sweet. Now, she looked really gorgeous. She was wearing high-waisted neon yellow pants. She paired that with a cropped white tank and black stilettos. A nice look there. While Artem, he was looking good as well. He looked so fresh in a short sleeve white button down, blue pants, and white sneakers. Very well-dressed couple there.
Their red carpet appearance comes 4 months after Nikki confirmed they were dating on Instagram. She also broke off her engagement to pro wrestler John Cena last summer.
Yeah, relationship rumors between Nikki and Artem have swirled since December, but it wasn't until March that Nikki confirmed that, yes, in fact, they were dating, but she has yet to call him her boyfriend. On her podcast, she previously said, quote, "We are not engaged, we are not married, we are not boyfriend and girlfriend. We don't say I love you."
I think that's changed.
A little bit.
Since then, they've been seen on multiple outings together. Both chatted with people on the red carpet. Seems like the two have great chemistry. Nikki said this, "Artem's aura and energy, he's so calming and relaxing. I'm like the Tasmanian devil. I need someone with his energy to make me stop and be present." I can relate to that. You know, you need to balance it out.
Yeah.
She also said he's so adorable and sweet. Then Artem said, "I think she's the exact opposite of me. What I'm missing in my life, she fulfills."
How sweet are
Yeah.
they? The question is, are they ready to make things official now? And I'd say based on those red carpet poses, they are.
I think so.
Yeah,
but
I
at
think
Thursday's awards, she told People we will find out Wednesday on the upcoming episode of her Bella's podcast. So she confirms that the two do talk about where their relationship stands today. Artem followed up saying it's getting serious. And pretty smart move for her to promote her podcast there. Guess we got to tune in.
We will definitely tune in. Both of them explained that they're glad that they got the time to know each other. Bella revealing, quote, "What's really tough is that you just can't casually date because everyone is like, wait, we've seen you here and there, so you're official, right? It speeds up the process." And Artem seconded the sentiment, saying, quote, "People need to be given time to be themselves and adapt and adjust and get to know each other. Whatever happens, happens." And I could totally see that,
I
right?
see that too, but I think they're very cute together, so
Super
we'll
cute.
find out if they're official very soon.
Oh,
All
yeah.
right, watch this.
At some point, you make a choice about who you are and what you want.
Hey, I'm Rue. I'm an addict.
The first season for HBO's Euphoria isn't even over yet, but it's already been renewed for a second season. Wow. The show, which premiered in June, stars Zendaya as Rue, a high school student just out of rehab. Now, Rue is faced with conflict as she navigates her friendships and relationships, all while staying in recovery.
HBO announced the renewal on Thursday, but did not provide a premiere date for its sequel season. Now, Zendaya responded to the news on Twitter on Thursday, tweeting, "Literally just got the call. I can't say thank you enough for the support we've seen. Wow."
So happy for her.
Yeah.
Now, the series also stars Maud Apatow, Sydney Sweeney, Eric Dane, and Storm Reed, who we talked with on our show about how Euphoria is a realistic showcase of what many young people are living. Take a look.
The show is really about what teens go through in the real world, and I feel like it can be a tough conversation to have. But I will I think watching it, I think it will like evoke a lot of conversation, and it may be uncomfortable for some, but it's really what's happening, and I feel like it's a conversation that needs to be had.
Absolutely. Euphoria has caused some controversy over its graphic subject matter, and earlier this month, it got the wrath of Louis Tomlinson. Now, he was depicted in an animated fan fiction scene with former One Direction bandmate Harry Styles while engaging in a sexual activity.
Yeah, so hours after the episode aired, Tomlinson wrote about the scene saying, "I was not contacted, nor did I approve it." I'm shocked that they were able to use that.
Absolutely,
and they
yeah.
did. But according to HBO, the series premiere of Euphoria has already been watched by over 5.5 million viewers. All right, on to this.
I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road.
Yes, we have another remix to the hit song Old Town Road by Lil Nas X featuring Billy Ray Cyrus. So this time the remix includes Young Thug and Mason Ramsey. Honestly, you thought Old Town Road maybe was gonna be done. Nope, it's coming back.
This is the song that never ends. Now, Old Town Road is a fan favorite, really amongst everybody, but really country fans and hip hop fans get this song a lot. This music video has been viewed over 200 million times on YouTube. Guys, it's been #1 on Billboard's Hot 100 list for 14 weeks.
Wow.
That's an incredible feat. Now, only 10 singles have spent that many weeks at #1, and according to Billboard, 16 weeks could make history. I see it totally
Yeah,
doing
so
that.
only 2 songs have made it that long on top. None have ever stayed longer. So what 2 songs hit the magical 16 weeks? Mako, do you know?
Is it somebody with an MC, Mariah Carey?
Yeah,
Could
I
that be
think
right?
so.
Yeah, well, the first is Mariah Carey and Boyz II Men's hit 90 songs, One Sweet Day. Such a sweet and somber song, but such a beautiful song as
Yeah.
well. The second is Despacito. Not surprised at all, by Luis Fonsi, Daddy Yankee, and Justin Bieber. Those were really big summer songs, right? Well, yeah, very sweet, amazing songs.
I think Old Town Road is gonna hit it. I think it's
and
happening.
why shouldn't it be?
And also getting Mason Ramsey on
Yeah.
is a pretty brilliant move.
Absolutely. Okay, you guys, so coming up, we've got something to say about our interview with Jermaine Dupri that kicked off a firestorm with Cardi B. So that's coming up in just a minute. Plus, we're breaking down all of the top moments from this week's Real Housewives, from the New York City reunion to the Beverly Hills finale and that very dramatic dinner in Potomac.
Meghan Markle is expected to have her first red carpet moment since becoming a royal. Here with all the details on that, baby Archie, and much more are People's senior news editor Erin Hill and our royal correspondent Imogen Lloyd-Webber. Hello, ladies.
Hello.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Yes. All right, let's start out with this very exciting news. Meghan Markle is going to hit the red carpet with Prince Harry for the first time as a royal. Can't wait to see what she wears. So break it down for us, Erin. Give us the details.
Yeah, so this is an exciting announcement. Meghan, even though she's on maternity leave, she is going to be hitting the red carpet for the first time as a royal. Of course, she has lots of experience as an actress, but to be able to see Harry and Meghan walk the red carpet for this movie, which is going to be really important to Harry, a lot of his conservation work in Africa. Of course, the two have a trip planned in the fall, and this is a great excuse to meet Beyonce as well.
Oh,
Come on, you come out of maternity leave to meet Beyonce, don't you? Let's
You think
face
she's
it.
just going for Beyonce here?
Well, I mean,
We'd all do it. What do you
obviously.
think she's gonna wear? I mean, she's probably gonna keep it kind of tame, right?
I would think so. She doesn't want to compete too much with the stars of the film, but I think she's gonna look gorgeous whatever she wears, a long dress. Yeah.
We're expecting lots of pictures. Can we expect more red carpet appearances from the couple in the future, or is it just solely to meet Beyonce here?
I think so. I mean, Will and Kate have made appearances in the past for the Bond movie. When it makes sense, I think they will.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and Meghan was an actress, so it feeds into something that she's loved for years.
Yeah, it's not her first carpet
Absolutely.
here. All right, talking about things to look forward to, Kate Middleton and Meghan Markle will attend the Wimbledon women's final together. So they showed up last year as well. So talk to me about this. What do you guys think?
No big surprise here, because obviously Serena Williams is playing in the final, big friend of Meghan's, and Kate is obviously the royal patron of the All England Club, so she's always been all over Wimbledon. So it's going to be good to see the sister-in-laws together again. It's a good PR moment for them.
It's becoming a tradition for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and fans are very excited when they see them there.
Absolutely.
While baby Archie will be at home on Sunday, he did make an appearance at a polo match. So Imogen, were you surprised about this?
Yes, I was, because he's very little, he's 2 months old, and they've been going on about their privacy a lot. They knew they'd be photographed. It's a public event, so therefore the photographers would be out in force. And William and Kate were there with their 3 as well, so it was a family day out. And the polo day was to help raise funds and awareness for charities supported by the Royal Brothers. But yes, this was interesting to me. Erin?
It was a great show of unity. It's clear that they wanted to send that message, and all showing up together to support the princes and their polo match.
Yeah, so first public play day that he had with his cousins, it went well. right?
It did go really well, and it was fun to see George and Charlotte playing around on the field, and Louis, of course, has become the breakout star of the family. A lot of really cute moments from him, and just to see Meghan as a mom, just really sort of relaxed. I loved her sort of like California vibe mom look, and just to get a little shot of Archie again. We haven't seen him in a public setting before.
He's just a little babe.
Just a little babe. Meghan as a mum, but also Meghan as an aunt. It was interesting watching her react with the Cambridge kids. We never sort of seen that before. Yeah.
This week, we also saw pictures of baby Archie's christening. Everyone's talking about this. So take a look at this side-by-side picture of Prince Harry's christening compared to his son's. Another thing we did love, though, even though they couldn't have Princess Diana there with them, her sisters were part of the event. So Erin, what is Harry and Meghan, what is their relationship like with them?
Yeah, seeing Lady Sarah and Lady Jane there was really important, really meaningful, being that they're Diana's sisters. And both Harry and William have made really concerted efforts over the years to bring Diana's memory into these major milestones in their lives. Meghan and Harry included the Spencers in the birth announcement for Archie and many details of their wedding, so it's a really beautiful moment.
I think that's wonderful. Okay, and I love this thing. Looks like 93-year-old Queen Elizabeth is as fit as ever these days. Take a look at this and watch her response when she was asked if she needed help planting a tree.
He'll give you the option of doing it yourself, or he will. No, I prefer.
Imogen, is there anything she can't do? I love this.
Just amazing. And she hands her handbag over to the lady in waiting and she gets on with it. Now, she wasn't actually scheduled to do this. She was just to supervise the planting. But no, she went ahead and got the shovel and everything, and she's 93 years old.
Crazy.
It is actually a big tradition, this tree planting thing in the royal family. The Queen was showed a picture of Queen Mary, her grandmother, planting a mulberry tree at the National Institute of Agricultural Botany back in October 1921. So,
Look at her go. All right, well, ladies, thank you so much for all this information and for stopping by, as always.
Good to see you.
Well, I rap about because she's my best friend, you know what I'm saying? And second of all, it's because it seems like that's what people want to hear. I ain't even gonna front.
That's Cardi B clapping back at Jermaine Dupri's comments he made to me on our show Thursday. So Jermaine praised Brat for breaking the mold for female rappers. And when I asked him who he thought was changing the game today, he referred to female artists as strippers rapping.
Yeah, well, Cardi did not like that whatsoever. And she posted 2 video responses on Instagram calling out Dupri and others for not supporting women who rap about non-sexual stuff. Watch this.
Let me tell you something. When I did Be Careful, people was talking mad in the beginning, like, what the is this? This is not what I expected. I expected this, I expected that. So it's like, if that's what people ain't trying to hear, then all right, then I'm gonna start rapping about my again. And second of all, there's a lot of female rappers that be rapping their off and don't be talking about their and don't be talking about, getting down and dirty, and y'all don't be supporting them.
I love that she addressed this. I mean, support these ladies, everyone.
Absolutely. I love that Cardi is at the highest height of her career, and she used this opportunity to shine a spotlight on women that are so deserving.
She really did.
So many talented artists. And listen, men rap about women, they rap about cars, they rap about drugs.
It's a double standard.
It's a double standard. Women should be allowed to rap about anything that they want to. There's so many diverse voices out there in hip hop, and everyone should get a chance to shine.
And this got a lot of attention online.
Absolutely.
It was trending on Twitter.
You were trending on Twitter.
Yeah, it was crazy, but I'm
really
glad it got that attention.
Yeah, I'm glad it got the attention. In the video, she calls out the rappers like Rhapsody, who is absolutely amazing. There is Kamaya, there's Tierra Whack, and Chica. There's so many amazing black women that are at the forefront of hip hop. They need our support.
Yes.
They're incredible. So JD, maybe we need to add some songs to your rotation.
Yeah, I know. What are you going to do? Some research.
Exactly.
And we would say, Cardi, come on to our show. Let's chat about females changing the game. We would obviously love that. It is interesting in her response, though, which I didn't even think about. Yeah. She has a lot of songs about other things, but those songs, people criticize them or they didn't listen to them. So she went back to what people wanted to listen to, rapping about the sexual stuff, i.e. her best friend, as she puts it.
Absolutely. And listen, if you listen to Cardi's album, Invasion of Privacy, it's an amazing album. There's a spectrum of stuff that she talks about, right?
Yes.
She talks about living her best life, getting her teeth fixed, getting plastic surgery, really making it from the bottom to the top of where she is.
She talks about real life things.
Exactly. And if she wants to talk about stripping, that is her experience. We cannot deny her stripping experience. That's part of her story. So Cardi, keep doing you. Now, she told Cosmopolitan that she raps about stripping because she wants to be there and really have more respect for strippers. At the end of the day, they're just women working, okay?
Yes.
They're just like everybody else.
I will say that I like this conversation is happening. And hopefully after this, more female rappers will get the recognition they deserve, especially since Cardi, called them out, put them on her Instagram. So now I hope that people go listen to those female rappers.
Absolutely. And Cardi, shout out to you for sharing your spotlight. You know what I mean? Like, these ladies really deserve the attention that they need to shine. They are incredible, dope female MCs. And I wish JD would have used that moment to say, listen, I don't like this, but this is who I like. And that's what Cardi did. And that's what makes her a real one.
Great conversation happening. I also love that Cardi B saw our clip.
Come on
to our show,
people
Cardi.
now. We have open arms waiting for you.
We do. We love you, Cardi. All right. In honor of Ed Sheeran's new album, we want to know which collab you're most excited for. So let's take a look at what you guys are tweeting.
Okay,
Looks like
let's
Bruno
see.
Mars taking the lead.
Bruno Mars is incredible. Cardi B is also incredible. She talked about, I'm paraphrasing here, but she said she dropped the album, drop a baby, but she'll never drop the ball. Oh, it's incredible. So guys, keep on voting. We want to hear from you.
So we've all heard the phrase dress for success, but one 12-year-old from Newark is helping shelter pets do just that.
Darius Brown donates bow ties to rescue organizations around the country to help animals look their best for adoption. How adorable is that?
This is such a sweet story. Now, it's been helpful for shelter animals. It's also been helpful for Darius. At just 2 years old, he was diagnosed with speech delay, comprehension delay, and fine motor skills delay, and making the bows actually helps him with his development.
That's incredible. So his mother and his older sister noticed a breakthrough for Darius when he turned 8, while his sister was enrolled in cosmetology school. There, he began to cut fabrics and learn to sew to help make his sister make hair ribbons.
Yeah, now his sister tells today, quote, with his fine motor skills, he wasn't able to really use his hands well. Tying a shoe was challenging. My mother and I came up with the idea that if he helped us with things like prepping the ribbon or cutting it and sewing fabric together, it would help him. And it did. It worked.
It worked in the best way possible. Darius then started to make his own bow ties and wear them. When people kept asking him on the street where they could buy their own, he decided to make his own bow tie company, Bow and Paws.
I love this. Now, after Darius learned about the displaced dogs and cats caused by the devastation of Hurricanes Harvey and Irma, he knew he wanted to act. So he started donating bow ties to the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. This is one cool kid.
This kid inspires me, right? With hundreds of donated bow ties to shelters all across the country, Darius is showing no signs of slowing down and is even fundraising to donate more.
Yeah, so every tie purchase from Bow and Paws helps him get materials for the donated ties. And as if Darius wasn't amazing already, he also donates a portion of every sale to the ASPCA. And Darius currently has a GoFundMe set up to help him raise more money so he can visit shelters and make more bows.
I want to be like Darius when I grow up.
I do too. It's very inspiring. All right, we move on to this.
You decided at some point that I can never do any right by you.
No,
After I stood by you like a soldier through these reunions.
You stood by me like a soldier, and then you let me down.
You
and
have
you
a
took,
prayer card of mine that I got in First Communion that I carried in my pocket through everything and through Richard's death, and I handed it to you with my heart, and you treated me like an animal.
Well, you know why? Because you treated me like an animal, and you broke my heart. How do you think I felt about being heckled from the audience like that? I get up on stage, which is so hard.
Someone I love and don't invite him to something.
Wow,
Oh,
we are about to discuss that emotional moment and so much more from part 1 of the Real Housewives of New York City reunion. Plus, we're breaking down the top moments from the Beverly Hills finale and from the ladies of Potomac in their very dramatic episode.
Yeah, and here to dish on everything from the chic to the bleak within the Real Housewives world are People's Housewives experts, People writer and reporter Dave Quinn, and People TV producer Sam Belikov. Hello,
Hi, guys.
gentlemen.
What's up?
All
right.
right.
Dave, let's get into it. Let's talk about that big moment we just saw from the New York reunion. Were you surprised to see Dorinda and Luann's relationship so raw after it looked like they kind of made up during the season?
Yeah, I was really surprised because, as you say, in the world of where we are in the show, it seems that the two of them have been on really good terms. But then you have to remember that they filmed this so long ago. And what happens is they now go through the process of watching it. So all of a sudden they start seeing all the things that they've been saying behind their backs, and they get even angrier. That was very, very raw. And Dorinda was really delivering some true emotions of what she was feeling. You know, she was frustrated about the fact that Luann had kind of punished her all season long for something that she did that she didn't think was really that bad. And I really felt for her in that moment.
Yeah, that was true emotion
It
there.
was true emotion, Sam. What stood out to you watching Dorinda and Luann go at it?
Well, it's funny. It's almost like it was a season 10 reunion because Luann was missing from the last one. So a lot of what they were discussing was things that happened at the end of season 10. What I loved was the text messages, which were all about the season 10 finale, basically, about whether or not John was invited. I love a prop at a reunion. And I love that Luann has her reading glasses on, just another accessory on top of her statement necklaces and her bangles and everything. And it's just really funny. I mean, the fact that, you know, she was like, I have the text, and Andy's like, I'm gonna move on. And she's just like, scrolling through, being like, while the text was before. It was just perfect.
You need those receipts.
I was about to say, show me the receipts.
Another top
Read
moment.
receipts.
Yes.
Yeah. Another top moment from last night's reunion revolved around Dorinda and Luann, but this time was a little more positive. Watch.
I'm not excusing myself. I'm just saying I felt really cold about that, so I'm going to give you a hug. It was nice.
Can you really put it behind us? I do. I hate the way you're looking at me. You're like so angry. I'm not. I'm confused. I'm not angry. I'm confused because I don't. The person I've known for 13 years, we used to sit and laugh our asses off.
No, I know.
We
I
were
miss
so
that.
close.
I miss that. I do. I miss that so much. I really do.
I don't want to talk about any of these things anymore. Can we put a period on it and just try to move on? Seriously?
Oh, that kind of warms my heart.
I know.
Dave, what'd you think of that scene? And more importantly, do you think their makeup will last through parts 2 and 3 of the reunion? Because don't forget, we aren't done yet with the reunion.
Well, I definitely think that they will be going at each other's throats for the next 2 episodes of the reunion because you need a little bit of that. But I think moving forward, they're finally in a good place. You know, that was really real. And our housewives are always real, but they sometimes put on a little bit of a fake persona of everything being okay. That was true emotion from both of them. Dorinda finally expressed how she felt very clearly, and I think Luann finally heard her and responded in a great way. I was happy to see the two.
You know, Andrea, when you said makeup, at first I thought you meant like the actual physical makeup, not like the makeup of the heart that
the makeup will last?
The makeup might last.
They're getting touch-ups throughout that.
So Sam, what do you think of how things shook out in this episode with Luann and Dorinda?
Well, it was nice to see them come together. I'm wearing this fish shirt in honor of them talking about the fish room again.
Of course
we know that's going to happen in part 2 as well. So clearly there's going to be some strife with them. But I think what was really funny was Andy's like, I don't want to backtrack, but let's play Feelin' Giovanni. And then, like, you know, it was all the things that they had issues over. This is all the women hearing it for the first time. Luann, like, tapping her chest, like, to the song, sended me to the heights of I've never been. And she was very much like Black Eyed Peas. She's like, louder, louder, like this needs to be louder. Like she was living for it. The women, I don't know if they were really feeling Giovanni.
Yeah, I love the reunions because they looked so good. Bethany, I couldn't get over her.
Fire.
Yeah, they all looked amazing. All right, let's move on to the season finale of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So the top moment here of the finale involved Camille, who was on a bit of a warpath. Take a look.
I am sorry for what you're going through. Please stop grabbing me. Stop grabbing me and talking down to me. I do not appreciate it.
She's not talking down to you.
No, you just missed it.
We're not in 7th grade.
Really?
No, Camille.
Really, Denise?
Yeah.
After the other night, who got attacked? It was me.
I was petty.
Camille, I don't know, Denise.
So back off.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
You
back off.
Even if someone did, you don't say it. I'm not sure. Denise.
What do you mean not? Camille, don't be condescending. You're so
at her. Patronizing.
Wow, Denise really getting in there. Sam, what was your reaction watching this?
Well, it was like you said, it was great to see Denise getting in there. I mean, it's only happened a few times. We love her on this season, but you know, her being in the mix and dramatic is a new level for her. I think Camille needs to be brought back full time next season. I mean, she has been bringing, I think, the majority of the drama, especially in the second half of this season. She really was on a tear this night. You see it, the fact that she went for Denise, she went for Teddy. She's really going for a lot of women. She had a lot going on in her life, but it doesn't necessarily excuse it, but it makes for good television, and I think you're going to see a lot of the women coming for her in the reunion.
Riveting is the word. She has her foot on everybody's neck, and I'm here for it. Okay, so there were so many moments of Camille's to highlight in the finale, but this next one up here is just the most dramatic of the night. Guys, check this out.
Why did you come after me at my most vulnerable? After I lose my house and lose my assistant of 23 years? This is the time for you to bring up something that, because I said something nice about Lisa Vanderpump. How disgusting are you? That's disgustingly petty and immature. You know what? So let's figure out who the mean girl really is, huh? Seems like it's you.
There's so many things to look at here. Sam, what stands out to you on the scene?
There's something to be said for standing up for yourself, but at the same time, when you're screaming in someone's face, who's the mean girl now, I think it's you, to be honest. I think Camille's being the mean girl. I think she's been through a lot, honestly, but what's really evident is later in this episode, she like kind of runs up to Rinna and is like, I'm so sorry, tonight was too much for me, I have to go. And it's like, you were just yelling at her moments before. I think it really shows how kind of, you know, in a vulnerable spot she was in at this time. So I think that it was just a rough night for her, and we saw that all on camera.
Yeah, the other top moment of the night came when the episode flashed forward 6 months. Both Rinna and Kyle told the other ladies about running into Lisa Vanderpump, so watch what Kyle had to say.
While I was talking to Lisa, it felt like old times, like we were trying to talk through something. So you kind of think, well, you know, I miss my friend, but for her not to come around at all has not left any door open for that. I felt lighter just because I had a conversation. So to have that moment, like, away from everything, I felt better, but yet I also felt like I'm good. I'm good.
She's good. Yeah. Sam, are you good? Like how? What's your thought on this scene?
I'm glad she's good, but I'm not fully good. I mean, here's the thing. This season has divided a lot of fans because there's like super Lisa Vanderpump lovers and haters. I'm a lover of the show, and what that means is I want Lisa Vanderpump there. I want to see that scene between Lisa and Kyle. I want to see their resolution, even if she's not coming back. So I really, you know, Lisa is an icon, and I just wish we would have seen some more resolution with her. That being said, I'm glad that we were just able to see a little bit of it and know that Kyle's in a better place with her. But, you know, I'm hoping in a couple seasons she'll come back and, you know, we'll see more of Lisa Vanderpump on the show.
Yeah. Never say never. Okay, let's move on to the Real Housewives of Potomac. They had a history-making episode, guys. The top moment was in an episode that was filled with top moments that came during a very super dramatic dinner party. Watch this.
There's smoke, there's fire.
No, girl.
And there's been enough smoke in this household to where there has to be some fire.
In this household, you mean? This one?
Don't talk about my house. You are disrespectful.
She has made the comment
I
how she
invited you
wants
into
to
my
be
home.
separate from
I
her mom.
loved you.
If
I
you
offered
really
you a
want to be
beverage,
separate from your
and you
mom.
were disrespectful to me. You can get the No, I don't need to. I don't need to. I don't need to.
Just sit down.
If you want to be in this place, you can get out.
Girl, I got lots of other things to do.
So go do it.
And I will. And I will.
Sit down.
And I will.
Okay. All right.
She can't even act like an adult.
Try me in that kangaroo restaurant. Don't try me in my house. I invited her into my home. I gave her a beverage.
That man just straddling her to keep her there.
Okay. So, Dave, there's so much going on in that clip and in the dinner overall. What's your biggest takeaway?
My biggest takeaway is that Candace Dillard is an all-star housewife who deserves the massage for like lifting, doing all that heavy lifting during that episode.
Is her back tired?
Yeah,
from
she
all
has
the
been
heavy
carrying
lifting.
that show this season, and she's done an amazing job.
I can't get over of him trying to calm her down.
Yeah, Chris, her husband, sitting on her lap to try to get her to stop.
To get her to calm down.
You know, listen, Ashley has had a history on the show of bringing things up about other people's relationships while trying to not necessarily talk about her own. I feel as though Candace really wanted to go there this season and get on some of those inconsistencies.
Yeah.
And it was interesting that it came up at this time. You know, I don't think they went in saying like, now we're going to confront her about it, but it certainly happened that way. And
oh
my goodness.
Drama.
And it was a lot of drama, of course, with what Michael obviously has allegedly said. He's denied saying that he wanted to have a sexual action with another man. So it's interesting the way that they said it, and I'm also very appreciative that they didn't weaponize being gay, which often happens on the show. You know, they said it's totally fine if he is gay or wants to do something with the man, but just be truthful about it because what you're doing is kind of disrespectful to Ashley. And I thought it was interesting how they framed it.
I mean, there's a lot going on in this episode. Sam, there's talk about Robin being the bone collector, Ashley being to blame, Candace being out of control. Who do you think was the messiest at this dinner?
Robin being the bone collector is outrageous because like Giselle is basically the plot of Stranger Things season 4. Like she's making an upside down skeleton out of all the bones that she's collecting. I mean, Giselle is so insanely pot stirring in this episode. The thing is, Robin and Candace knew about the allegation about Michael and wanting to, you know, perform fellatio. They didn't bring it up. It came up because Giselle found out about it this night. She throws Robin under the bus here. Once Ashley is kicked out, she goes, oh, I think you should go back in. They've moved on. They had not moved on. Messy, messy, messy.
Yeah,
Bless that mess.
I know. We love the mess. All right, Dave
Here
and
for the
Sam, thank you so much for being here. Everyone, make sure to follow along with us and watch The Real Housewives of Potomac Sundays at 8, Beverly Hills Tuesdays at 9, and New York City Thursdays at 9, all on Bravo.
There are so many myths surrounding John Kennedy.
In the end, I think he wanted to be his own person.
The closest look from those closest to him.
In that last year, he's under an extraordinary amount of pressure.
John said to me, I don't know if I can get through this.
A surprising look at a man you thought you knew.
I found this tape of John, and no one's ever seen it before.
This is a different John.
I want people to know the real John Kennedy.
Biography, JFK Jr., The Final Year, is a 2-hour special for JFK Jr.'s 20th death anniversary, and it premieres July 16th on A&E.
So it's inspired by a new book by his close friend and historian, Stephen Gillen, titled America's Reluctant Prince, The Life of John F. Kennedy Jr. Now, Gillen shared some stories of JFK Jr. with guest host Danya Duchess and me, including how he really was behind closed doors. Take a look.
The one word, people ask me that question, and the thing, John's pretty much the same person, except he's more reserved in public. And the one word that comes to mind to describe John behind closed doors is funny. John had a remarkable sense of humor, and he loved laughing. He loved poking fun, especially at me. But he didn't mind being the brunt of a joke. So he was just more carefree. You know, for John, one of John's struggles was to surround himself with people who he knew he could trust. And if he was around those types of people, he was more carefree, and he let his guard down, which is something he never did in public.
Yes, you say he was funny. Was it dad jokes? Was it witty humor? Like, what was his sense of humor?
John, first of all, he was a storyteller.
Okay.
Secondly, he was a great mimic. And he could mimic, Arnold Schwarzenegger all the time. He could do it. He nailed Arnold Schwarzenegger. So that was his sense of humor. He wasn't a joke teller.
Okay.
But his humor was situational.
Yes, he has
and quick. He was quick. He was really quick.
Yeah. As he grew up, so he understood what it was like and what it meant to be a Kennedy. But there's this story about him, saying he wanted to be a baker, and his uncle having this reaction to that. So what was that story?
Sure. So this is 1968, and his uncle, Senator Robert F. Kennedy, is running for the Democratic nomination for president. And he's a senator from New York at this point, and it must have been after Christmas, because John had just gotten an easy bake oven for Christmas. So Robert used to go by at night whenever he could and tuck John and Caroline into bed. So one day he shows up and he goes into John's room, and John's sitting on the floor, and he just made a nice cake, which he was really proud of. And Robert said to him, John, what do you want to do when you grow up? And John said, I want to be a baker, which was the wrong answer. And the way John told the story, he said that Robert grabbed him gently by his shoulders, and he says, you're a Kennedy. You've been given great privileges. You have a responsibility to help other people. You can't just become a baker.
And you told our producers that one of your favorite stories of John is when he once played a wingman to a guy he met at a bar.
This is back in the day, if you wanted to watch one of the fights on HBO, you had to go to a bar or something. It's way before your time. You guys wouldn't know that. So John took us to a bar in South Providence, which was kind of a poor, working class Puerto Rican neighborhood, not a place that most brown students go to. And we go walking in, and I knew it was going to be an interesting night, because I looked up on the wall. There were two things hanging. One was Jesus Christ, and the other one was John's dad. So we're standing there, and we're watching the fight. It was a long room, and John's behind me because he's like 4 inches taller than me. And I see the crowd parting in front of me, and there's this little guy. It looks exactly like Danny DeVito. And he pushes me out of the way and stands in front of John. He looks up and he says, you're John. You're John. And John was always uncomfortable in those moments. He looked around, he looked over at me, and the guy hugged him and said, I loved your father. I loved your father. And John says, thanks. The guy says, free drinks. Because John got a free drink, I had to pay for mine. So the guy disappears. 20 minutes later, the crowd's partying again. The same guy dragging a woman behind him. And he walks up to John and he says, Marilyn, I want you to meet my friend John Kennedy. And you know what John does? He reaches out and he says, hi, Marilyn. I've heard so much about you. I'm glad I finally got to meet you. Wow. And he shook her hand, and when they walked away, I said, John, so you met that guy 10 minutes ago. He said, well, he dissected what had happened. They lived upstairs. The guy owned the bar. He had told his wife that he was friends with my family. So he said, Stevie, what's wrong with that? I made 2 people really happy tonight. And I'm standing there and I'm thinking, I'm going to start picking out my office in the West Wing.
John loved being named People's Sexiest Man Alive, but also that was a double-edged sword. So yeah, talk to me a little bit about that and kind of the two sides of it.
Sure. So John liked it because at one point he said it gave me my life. John was proud of his body. It was the one thing that John could do on his own. And he spent lots of hours building up his body. He liked people to see it. You know, if John wasn't in the papers for a while, you can guarantee that he'd be in Central Park playing touch football with his shirt off.
Nice. No one's complaining.
No one, he never got any complaints about it. So he liked the fact that people, he liked showing off his body, sometimes in inappropriate ways. So he liked the fact that he was recognized as being sexy. But you know, one of John's struggle that we talk about in the documentary is that he needed to establish his own identity separate from his family, and he needed he wanted people to see him as a serious person. And so being named the sexiest man alive both helped boost his profile. At the same time, it made it more complicated for him to establish his own identity and to be taken seriously by the broader public.
The ladies loved him. He also loved the ladies. How did he deal with that female attention, especially from fans and people trying to get his attention?
One of the things that John did was John never wanted people to think he was single. So what you notice in John's relationship is one ends and he's automatically seen with someone else, because he used to say that when word got out that he was single, men from his father's administration would call and try to hook him up with their grandchildren, and he would just be the object of too much attention. So as relationships started fizzling out, he would start dating on the side.
He's a relationship hopper.
He was, well, for him, it was a unique situation.
Yeah,
so,
we're all kind of guilty of that sometimes, so I can relate.
So John would move from one relationship to the next and do so pretty quickly, but it was really out of necessity that he did it.
All right, with its 5th season coming to a close, Formula E, the world's first fully electric racing series, is electrifying street racing in some of the world's leading cities, competing against the backdrop of iconic skylines such as Hong Kong, Paris, Rome, Monaco, and its finale here this weekend in New York City.
Woohoo! Now we caught up with British Envision Virgin Racing driver Sam Bird. Sam and his racing crew are one of the founding and leading teams in the Formula E Championship. Sam was the first driver to have won a race in every season to date, with a double win back in the 2016-2017 season here in New York City, and he was the first driver to score a home win.
So we took a trip to the racetrack in Red Hook, Brooklyn to talk to Sam while crews finish assembling their team's garage and cars. So does he have any rituals or superstitions when it comes to preparing for a big race? Watch.
Honestly, I used to, 4 or 5 years ago, I used to have to get into the car the same side every time. It was like a ritual that I had to get in from the right-hand side. However, with Formula E, we used to have to, in the old format where we had 2 cars, depending on whether the track was anti-clockwise or clockwise, I had to jump into the car from different sides on the car swap. So that kind of went out the window a little bit. And even like when I was go-karting and starting in single-seaters when I was a lot younger, I did have some lucky underwear, but the lucky underwear is gone.
Lucky underwear? Do you have any lucky underwear?
I don't. All that wear and tear on that lucky underwear, I just pray. That's all I do.
Yeah,
do you have any rituals?
No. Am I boring? I don't have any superstitions or rituals. I got to get on that.
You got to get a tug of the ear or something like that. Yeah, we'll work on that. So Envision Virgin Racing is supported by Virgin founder Sir Richard Branson. And as we mentioned, it's one of the founding teams of Formula E. So we wanted to know how involved he is with the team.
Richard Branson is involved with the team. It's great to have such an ambassador and patron behind our racing team. It's always great when he comes along, and he was actually here for the first ever race win here in New York in 2017, and that was amazing to share that with him. We actually changed the colors of the lights on the Empire State Building, so he did that. That was cool, and we've done some amazing activations with him. But he doesn't just bring expertise with regards to all of his activities that he's done, be it hot air ballooning or jetting around the world and breaking records, but it's such a powerful name, the Virgin name, in order to entice people to come and see our team.
We all know Richard Branson as an unconventional and ambitious man who definitely knows how to have some fun.
Oh, yeah.
And venturing into electric motorsport racing sounds like something right up his alley. He had tweeted, Formula E is a sport that's as much about the technology behind it as what happens on the track.
That's right. And Sam Bird agrees, saying, quote, the great thing about Formula E is that it's about technology. That is really current now and to the future.
He also told us what he envisions for the future of Formula E. Take a look.
Formula E is growing at such a rate that in 5 or 10 years' time, I think it's really difficult to see where it's going to be. You look at where we were from day one in 2014 to today here in New York, end of season 5, it's mind-blowing. The championship has grown at such an enormous rate, and it reminds me pretty much of smartphone technology. Like the first ones, the battery lasted like a couple of hours, you could barely do anything with it. Now everybody's holding like a supercomputer in their hands. And that's the rate of improvement that these cars have got as well. In 10 years' time, who knows where we're going to be? It's going to be amazing.
Yeah,
that's a great point, Sam, right?
Is.
Yeah. Now, something else that we were super curious about is how racing can affect a driver's mental health and their overall fitness.
Racing is mentally very, very taxing, I have to say. There's enormous amounts of stress. However, I think just being a sportsman is quite a stressful environment anyway. We've got to hopefully make it till we're about 40, 42. So I've got 10 years left, hopefully, of shelf life. And to push through that, we spend a lot of time in airports, a lot of time traveling around the world, quite fatigued. And then you've got to be on your A game every single weekend. It's demanding, and the teams demand top performances all the time. You're only as good as your last race. So if you've got 3 or 4 bad races in a row, pressure starts to mount. Some people perceive racing drivers to just be sitting down and turning a steering wheel. I mean, my heart rate doesn't probably go below 140 to 150 beats per minute for a 45-minute race. So that is like sitting on your bike in your gym for 45 minutes, getting a proper sweat on and burning 400-500 calories. So we are working hard. I also race in another category where I can be in the racing car for up to 4 hours at a time. So I need to be able to withstand some serious heat with all of this Nomex fireproof underwear and race clothing on. I have to withstand high levels of G-force. Plus these cars, like this one behind me, which is my racing car, they don't have power steering. So I've got to, manhandle and wrestle a nearly 800, 850 kilo beast around the street circuits like this one that we're at in New York.
Sounds like a workout.
It does. I think sometimes we forget what top-tier athletes these are. Endurance and stamina, you got to have it. And how much really dealing with G-force on the weight of the car is how much that puts on an athlete. And he said that this is about 800 to 850 kilos, which is about 17,000 to almost 19,000 pounds. That's heavy.
I'm tired just thinking about it.
Yeah.
Now, we've only introduced Sam as the driver for Envision Virgin Racing. He also stars in a documentary directed by Academy Award winner Fisher Stevens and Malcolm Benville and produced by Leonardo DiCaprio. Maybe you heard of him. The documentary, And We Go Green, is about Formula E and how competition drives the development of technology and how the excitement of a sport can have a meaningful social impact. Now, Sam filled us in on where the title name came from.
The title, And We Go Green, is actually a catchphrase which is used by one of our top commentators, Jack Nicholls. Basically, the first race that we ever had, he was commentating, and the first thing he said when the lights went out was, And we go green in Beijing. And then that became like his thing. Every race is, and we go green. So when the lights go out here, when all 5 lights go on, then they go out, you will hear Jack Nicholls on the commentary say, and we go green in New York.
The movie premiered this May at the Cannes Film Festival. Sam and fellow drivers featured in the film were able to attend alongside the directors, Leonardo DiCaprio and Orlando Bloom. Sam said, quote, both Leonardo and Orlando have been really supportive of this championship since day one. Leonardo comes to some of the races occasionally to see how it's going, see how it's evolving, and to be involved in this project with him is something that I never thought I'd be involved in. So I'm very proud to have been involved in that project.
Leo is so passionate about the environment, so it sounds sounds like something, right up his alley. So
Yeah.
I'm not surprised that he's involved.
And no pressure, Sam, right? Imagine having Leo there, right?
See him on the sidelines.
Yeah.
Okay. The final races are this weekend, July 13th and 14th in Red Hook, Brooklyn. Old fans, new fans, cast your votes to give your favorite driver an extra power boost in the race. Grab your water, your sunscreen. Get ready to go green in New York City. I love it.
Super exciting.
Oh God. Oh.
I'll have what she's having.
Brilliant! Okay, so it's one of the most iconic lines in movie history. And this week, the rom-com that made it famous, When Harry Met Sally, turns 30.
So we caught up with Billy Crystal, Meg Ryan, and director Rob Reiner to celebrate. And it turns out that Reiner's mother played a crucial role in that iconic scene. She's the woman who says, "I'll have what she's having."
Who
That's
knew?
a fun fact.
I love that.
So we had to ask, in the age of reboots, could there ever be a Harry and Sally sequel? What do you think?
I'm praying. Rob says that fans are still asking for one, and he thinks that Harry and Sally are still married with kids. And he says they've had problems, but they've worked through it.
Now, meanwhile, Billy let the movie do the talking. He says, just let it lie.
Just let it lie. Okay?
Great, let it lie.
Okay.
That's my policy.
So, I don't know, maybe we'll see it, maybe not.
We can only hope. So check out People's When Harry Met Sally special edition for the full interview, set secrets, and more.
All right, guys, we're taking one last look at our People poll. We want to know which Ed Sheeran collab you're most excited for.
Yeah.
Let's see what you guys are saying.
So Eminem and Bruno Mars
are both tied at 37%. It's
Ah.
really rare that we have a tie here at People Now, so this is exciting.
This is exciting stuff.
So you have a couple seconds to keep voting before
I
the
sure
end
do.
of the show.
Keep going.
So quick, vote right now to skew the results.
Absolutely. We'll be asking you a new question of the day next week on People Now. So guys, make sure you tune in.
And coming up next week, we're joined live by a real-life Crocodile Dundee. Matt Wright is here talking about his show, Monster Croc Wrangler. I'm really excited to hear what this is about.
Same. Plus, Nelly and Flo Rida dish on their summer tour with TLC. Guys, happy weekend. Thanks for watching. And for now, we'll leave you with one last thing from Laura and Vanessa Morano.
Bye.
Hi, I'm Vanessa Morano.
And I'm Laura Morano.
And this is One Last Thing. The last song that was stuck in my head is probably Lie to Me by Laura Morano.
Oh, stop
That's
it.
right.
You're just making me blush.
New music video out.
Lie to me, lie to me, lie. The last vacation we took together was actually, I'm going to say our vacation last summer when we went to Italy together.
Yeah, we went to our dad's hometown. It was really great.
Last time I was starstruck.
It was the same time, but it was by two different people.
It was at the MTV Movie and TV Awards.
Laura, tell everybody who you were starstruck by.
Grey Worm from Game of Thrones.
And I was starstruck by the Vanderpump Rules cast.
Very similar.